Hello and welcome to All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. This has been an exciting season of voting, and I hope you voted early and not often, but early. Today we're going to talk again with Bishop Bob Jackson, pastor of Axel Gospel Church, who was a candidate for Oakland City Council. Now, we don't know yet, as of the date of this taping, who has won in the ranked choice voting, but we do know that it was an exciting campaign. Bishop, welcome back to All About Community.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
No. Tell me, how do you feel about the campaign?
Well, I think it was an exciting thing. It was certainly a new challenge for me. I've never been into anything like that before with the campaign forums and all of the Zoom meetings and whatnot.
A lot of Zoom meetings.
Almost zoomed out. And then the different people that want you to come, on their campaign forums, and then they want to question you. I almost want to say interrogate you.
Well, interrogation is a form of questioning.
To find out whether or not you support their cause. The thing that's interesting is that none of them, for the most part, were interested in District 7, and the people who live in District 7, they were interested in how would you, when you get into the position, support them and their cause to help them do what they're trying to do. I thought it was very interesting, and so, of course, that was not my, what I wanted to do. I wanted to represent the people, so they didn't like me for the most part, but it didn't matter.
Oh, you mean they didn't like you? Bishop, you're a very, very likable person.
Yeah, right, but they didn't want me in that position because I wasn't, at all interested in favoring, because I can see how you can get in the position like some right now. I won't mention their name, but as soon as they got in the position, the next thing you know, they lost sight on the community.
Do you feel that you were able to communicate and get your message out to the voters in District 7?
No, I think that was very...
And why not? Explain that.
Well, because we have 26,000 voters in District 7.
26,000?
26,000 people that vote in District 26.
And how many?
District 7.
How many showed up at the polls? Do you know?
Well, right now, what they're counting, we're only looking at probably about maybe 15 at the most, 15,000 at the most, probably half as much. So probably half of District 7 didn't vote.
Why do you think that is?
Well, the apathy, first of all. The old "my vote won't count." And who cares about my vote? It won't make a difference, that kind of thing. And then the other thing is not being aware of the issues. Like Prop 16 was the reason for every minority to vote, because reversing that Proposition 209 and reestablishing the affirmative action for jobs. I mean, we need those jobs. And minority people really need those jobs. Black people in particular need those jobs. And we had an opportunity to reverse Proposition 209, which took away affirmative action. In other words, pressure from the federal government and from the state to hire minority people. And so we lost that opportunity because it failed to pass for the lack of votes.
And California, I guess, is one of only about 7 or 8 states that have a Proposition 209 type statute, which prohibits the use of affirmative action when we need that so badly.
So badly, because nothing to stop the good old boys from hiring their friends and family and whomever else who look like them and not hiring minorities at all. And there's no repercussions if you don't do that. And so a lot of those jobs as minorities, we qualify for those jobs. We have the education, we have the resumes and everything else, but because of our color, the color of our skin, which is institutionalized racism,
right,
systematic racism,
right,
all the racism they talk about, you know what I'm saying? We have it, and it would have been able to wipe that out, and we'll have an opportunity to get jobs right along with everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Because we qualify.
Absolutely.
And not because
qualify.
of the color of our skin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question about the system that we have in Oakland called ranked choice voting. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think very much about it, that's for sure. I would like to go back to the old primaries. You know, when we used to have the primaries in June, and then you can make the decision for the primaries, and then the top two in the primaries then would run in November, and then we'd have it. They said it costs too much to run that. It costs too much to have a primary and an election in November. One in June, one in November. So they started the ranked choice voting, the way I understand it, which means that if the first round of voting, that person who has the most votes, if they don't get 50% plus one, 50 plus 1% of the votes, then they go to the second run. Tier and find out who received the most votes for the second choice. And if they don't get enough, the 50.1, they go to the third choice. So, I mean, it's you know, we saw that with Don Parada when he ran for mayor.
We did.
You know, and here he was the most popular vote. He won by a landslide on the first run, but he didn't get 50%. So they went to the second, and Jean Quan, she won because she had more second votes than he had, and she became the mayor of Oakland. But she was not supposed to be the mayor of Oakland.
Oh, I heard you said she was not to be.
She was not supposed to be the mayor. Don Parada was supposed to be the mayor of Oakland. I mean, he was the man. He was the one out there. But ranked choice voting made sure that he didn't make it. So anyway.
So one thing we may want to consider for the future is to returning to the old runoff system, because ranked choice, I hate it. And I'll tell you the reason why I hate it, because I think it's unconstitutional, because it forces me to vote for somebody I don't want to vote for, and moreover, it forces me not to even get a second choice. We're going to have to go to break with that. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and this is All About Community. We will be right back.
Hi, we're Minuteman Press Oakland in downtown Oakland at 2406 Webster. We're your local printer. We help your business grow. We provide flyers, business cards, direct mail, any product that you need to promote your business, we have it. And remember, at Minuteman Press, no job is too small and no job is too big. Come by, stop at our shop at 24th and Webster, right behind the YMCA in downtown Oakland.
To better manage traffic on 880, the Metropolitan Transportation Commission has converted the carpool lanes to express lanes between Oakland and Milpitas, giving solo drivers the option to pay a toll to use the lanes and ensuring that all users, including carpoolers and buses, get a reliably faster trip. Learn more about the 880 express lanes at expresslanes.511.org.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. When we went to break, we were talking about ranked choice voting, which is a system used here in Oakland, California, to choose a city council person. But I'm so disgusted with the system, so I don't even want to talk about it anymore. What I want to talk about is what do you think, Bishop, some of the impediments that are out there that really impede your ability to run effectively for city council, such as the money that's involved in getting endorsements and advertising and all that stuff?
Sure. Well, if you're not really connected with the developers and the people that I consider the movers and shakers as far as the finances, you know, that's available in the city, again, they contribute money to a candidate that's going to support their cause. And if it's a development, then they want you to support development, which sounds on the surface like a good idea. But if the development's going to impact your community in a negative way, then you don't want the development. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the forums I went on, they wanted, you know, certain things. They wanted, the Sierra Club wanted certain things about the weather and the environment and all that kind of stuff. Well, that sounds good, you know, but then what do you have to do to make that happen? And a lot of things would be disrupted, a lot of things that jobs and things that provide jobs for minority people in particular would be wiped out because of these issues that they want to present. And so you have to look at what's being said even though they're dangling some cash at you, you got to look at what's being said to say, is that going to be better for the community?
So they want you, the donor, to vote in their interest, not necessarily in the interest of the residents of District 7. Is that what you're saying?
You said it better than I could ever say it. You said it perfectly, and that's exactly right. So that's what I found. Many of the forms I went to, I'm like, and then they only give you like a minute or a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes to answer the question. And you want to say, well, let me tell you, I'm for development, but I want the kind of development that's going to benefit the people who live in District 7 and make sure that we don't, cause a gentrification that we'll be sorry for later on by pushing people of color, minorities in particular, blacks in particular, pushing them out of the city. And we've seen a lot of that. Our population has gone down from 48% to 23% right now.
And still falling,
and
right?
it's dropping right now. And so we have to try to do what we can to protect our community and make sure our community is able to stay here like they've been here for generations.
So when you're running for city council, you really do, as I understand it, have to weigh and consider what's in the best interest of this district, as well as look at what it is that the donors may be requesting of you. But in the final analysis, you should never do anything that would be to the detriment of the residents of District 7.
Absolutely correct, and that's the way I feel about it. And that, after all, it's the people that's electing you for the position. So actually, you represent the people. So because the people didn't contribute to your campaign, but these developers did, and these other high-powered people with money, they put the money there for you, and so you have the money, you have the popularity, you've got your flyers, you've got all your stuff out, you got people calling, you're paying people, but the bottom line is the person is able to do that not because they're community connected, but because they're connected to these deep pockets that want to put them in there because they can use them now to promote their cause. And I think it's really sad, at the detriment of the people who live in District 7.
And that detriment seems to me to be exacerbated from time to time because, unfortunately, some council people will tend to do things that are not really consistent with the best interests of those who live in Oakland or in the district that they represent. Now, let me ask you, regardless of this election, do you plan to remain actively involved in the community?
I've been asked that question over and over. First of all, let me
was this just one thing that you just run in and then run out?
No. Let me say this. First of all, I've always been connected to the community.
Absolutely.
And it's really sad to me that it's like the community don't know. They don't know what I do. At least that's the way it appeared. They don't know how active I've been. We built affordable housing up on 94th and International.
Well, why weren't they aware of that?
Well, because I'm not the kind of guy who do things and go around and blow my horn.
You don't toot your own horn?
I don't toot my own horn. I don't do that. I just let my work speak for me. I've been pastoring Acts Full Gospel Church for 36 years, and we've knocked on just about every door, especially the flatlands of District 7 and District 6. For the past 36 years, we've done that. We built our church by knocking on doors and praying for families and ministering to families. I've buried more of these boys that have been shot up, with these gang shootings and whatnot. I've been 36 years working in District 7 and District 6, and everybody in the city knows who I am. They know where Acts Full Gospel is. Many people have visited that church before. So we've been feeding people. We've been ministering. We've been in the street. We've been the men's program, the Men of Valor, the OK program with our boys. We reduced juvenile hall from 371 kids down to 56 kids in 8 years. And so the point of it is...
And when you do something like that, Bishop,
right.
that reduces the revenue that people expect to get as a result of having these kids locked up. And I can tell you that is a bad thing. They should be rejoicing in the fact that these children are no longer locked up. We're going to have to go to break. Don't touch that remote. Put it down. We will be right back with All About Community. My guest, Bishop Bob Jackson.
Positive Links Day program is a community center that provides disability awareness to remove some of the stigmas associated with the disabled population. We are located at 675 Hagenberger Road, Suite 255 in Oakland, California. Our mission is to be a voice for those that don't have a voice. We are recruiting community volunteers for training to assist us to develop and provide awareness for the treatment available for the disabled community. If you would like to volunteer, you can reach us at 510-878-9779.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. When we went to break, we were talking about the Men of Valor, and we were talking about the OK program and all these other exciting things that Bishop Jackson has done right here in Oakland, California. But I want to shift a little bit to the national scene. We had an election just recently, and it is still a cliffhanger. We have a new president, although the old president is just still want to hang around, doesn't want to leave. And I can understand why he doesn't want to leave, because he's probably going to jail where he belongs. But we do have a new president, Joe Biden, and an awesome sister, Kamala Harris. Now, Bishop, what do you think about the election?
Well, I think it was time. I think it was very timely, and to have Kamala Harris, like you said, she's from Oakland. You know what I'm saying? She's a black woman, and now as vice president, the first time we've ever had a black woman, a black person, period, as a vice president.
That's true.
But a black female on top of it.
That's
so
true.
it's like a double hitter, for success. And we're very proud of Kamala Harris and the possibility of them doing a whole lot, in a short time, especially for the African American community. Joe Biden, President-elect Biden, has made some promises that he's going to deal with the black community.
A lot of promises.
Oh yeah, he's coming out saying, I'm going to do more for the black community. I'm going to help the black. And when I hear stuff like that, I'm saying to myself, so you knew the racism was going on all the time.
Absolutely.
You knew the playing field wasn't fair. You already knew that systematic racism existed way before Black Lives Matter.
Right.
My point is, what were you doing to do something about it? When it was going on all this time, been going on ever since I know. 74 years I've been alive. I don't know about you, but the point is,
76.
okay. But the point I'm making is, we know it exists, we know it's alive, but what have people been doing, to eradicate that?
And the big question now is, what is the new president-elect going to do once he takes office on January 20th? Is he going to hold to his commitment? He's held to one, that is, he's selected a vice president who's a black woman, and he has indicated that the next black on the United States Supreme Court, next person will be a black woman. I believe he said a black woman. So he's made some commitments. So the question is, will he will he keep those commitments? And then second, does he understand how important the black vote was? Because if you look up and down the states that barely won,
he never would have won without the black vote. He never would have won without the black vote. And that's just hands down. He never could have made it. So the black people, once again, we put him in office. And it wasn't just for Kamala Harris that we did it. We did it because he made promises to us. And so I think the black community need to hold him responsible, hold him, his foot to the fire. You made these promises, now come on, let's deliver. The bad news is he didn't say what he was going to do. So I think that gives us, the black community, an opportunity to shape our own black agenda, and we can present our agenda to him.
And what would you like to see in that black agenda,
now,
Bishop?
First of all, I'd like to see jobs created for black people. I mean, with this Proposition 16 that failed here, and I'd like to see affirmative action come back so the playing field is fair, regardless of the color of your skin. If you have the qualifications, I think you need to get that job.
We can't get affirmative action back because the state of California says, no, we don't want affirmative action. We want to continue to discriminate against black folks.
Can the president override the state?
No, he cannot. That's state's right.
Trump seems to override Newsom all the time.
Trump.
Okay, I just want trying to tell you. But the point of it is, you want to know what needs to happen. We need businesses. We need our own businesses. We need our own opportunities to have businesses like everybody else. We need funds. We need finances to help support our businesses, our small businesses especially, because they're the ones that do a lot of hiring, you know, with inner city people. And we need to promote that and be able to have a platform like the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
And I'm excited about Kathy Adams and a wonderful job she's done as president with the Resiliency Fund. You know what I'm saying? She raised over $1 million for the and able to take care of the small African American businesses that are suffering because of Corona. You know what I'm saying? And their businesses are not making the money. So we do have some things in place. We need more money to do things like that, to help our businesses, to train our people, entrepreneurs
including
coming
the
forward.
Skills Center, right?
Skills Center to get skills for our young black people. Absolutely. And affordable housing. We need affordable housing. Government need to come back with that 202 plan and some of those plans they had, you know, to assist with home buyers and whatnot, with low income and moderate income people could buy homes. Nowadays, we don't have any assistance for those low income people to buy homes. In my day, they did. You know what I'm saying? They had FHA loans and they had veteran loans and whatnot to help you purchase homes. We need to reestablish all of those things.
And training people so that they will be prepared for whatever the job opportunities may be.
Absolutely.
The failure to be prepared is really at the root of a lot of the problems in the black community. We have a lot of people who really don't have appropriate skills in order to be competitive. So we are going to have to go to break again. Don't touch that remote. Put it down. We will be right back with All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris, and my guest is Bishop Bob Jackson.
Wireless Plus, your easy access phone provider, wants you to have a free phone, free accessories with free services. How would you like unlimited calls? Unlimited texts with free internet? Let us show you how you can get free government-approved programs. Come to our TV at 7801 Edgewater Drive in Oakland, near the Oakland Airport, for your free phone and unlimited services. Call the number on the screen today and let us show you how to gain easy access and communicate for free with Wireless Plus.
Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host. When we went to break, I was really overly excited talking with Bishop Bob Jackson of Acts Full Gospel Church right here in the city of Oakland. Bishop Jackson, with the election of Kamala Harris as the new Vice President of the United States of America, that leaves a Senate seat vacancy right here in the great state of California. Now tell me, do you have a favorite candidate to recommend to the governor to fill that seat with?
I just happen to have somebody that I think
All right, I hope it's the person I'm thinking about.
Congresswoman Barbara Lee?
Yes, there you go, Barbara, go.
Congresswoman
Run, Barbara, run.
Lee is the one. She could definitely handle it. She could handle that position.
Now, what do you think we need to do as community people to get the governor's attention to put her in that seat?
We need to use All About Community and put on the phone number for the governor's office and have everybody who watches our TV, especially All About Community, to call the governor's office and say, hey, we want Congresswoman Barbara Lee to take the place of Kamala Harris as senator here at the state of California.
That's simple, huh? And you think the governor will do it?
Well, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And if we can get enough black people squeaking about putting Barbara Lee in there, I guarantee you we can make it work. I guarantee you. Because one thing I found our politicians can't resist, that's squeaky wheels. If you get enough people squeaking, saying the same thing, I guarantee you we can get it done.
Now, I assume that will be quite a fight in order to get her in, but when you think about it, Bishop, Barbara has been really out there. When everybody else was running and hiding, she stood alone.
She has.
In the well of Congress.
For years.
All by herself saying no. She was the only person who voted against giving President Bush, unilateral authority to wage war in Afghanistan.
Correct.
only person
Only one.
in Congress to do that.
I know.
I think that took a hell of a lot of nerve.
I think she has a lot of clout. She has a lot of, self-control and a lot of power, where she's not persuaded by public opinion. And I really appreciate her for that.
And she's persuaded only by asking the question, what is the right thing to do?
That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
doing it.
That's right. So Gavin Newsom, our governor, need to know that, and he need to know that she's got a community behind her that want to see her replace Kamala Harris's position. I just think it's imperative that we do that.
Now, I know the time is running out. We don't have much time to go here in terms of All About Community, but I just want to return a little bit about the excitement of running for the City Council of Oakland. Give me, again, your vision for Oakland. If we're looking, say, 5 years from now.
Well, I think if Libby Schaaf, our mayor, have her way when some of these city council people and the new ones coming in, if they have their way about the city of Oakland, you're going to see a sharp decline in the black community especially, and we prophesied we will be under 3% in the city. And that's because they're going to move the Coliseum down to Howard Terminal. That's her plan, and she's getting everybody that she's endorsed to line up with that. And when they move that Coliseum down to Howard Terminal in West Oakland, it's going to disrupt the black community in West Oakland, disrupt and impact negatively the black community in East Oakland. It's going to cause our numbers to go down even more, the housing market to go up even higher, the cost of renting, cost of buying houses in East Oakland is going to go up higher, and that's going to force black and brown people out of the city.
Well, that would be tragic. Well, what can we do to stop that, if anything?
Nothing now.
You mean we're just hopeless?
If I don't win, that's what it is, because I don't think anybody's going to stand up to Libby Schaaf and the rest of the people. See, they already have a plan for District 6 and District 7. They already have a plan, and they're putting their plan. Look at our streets. Who tore up our streets like this? Who tore up East 14th Street? You got bus lanes down the middle of the thing is so crazy. You don't even know how to drive through the streets. Who did this? Who planned it? Were we a part of the planning of that? No, they're not planning that for the people who live there now. They're planning that for the people that's going to be living there. And I think it's sad. It's a shame.
And we've allowed trash to be everywhere, dumping everywhere, so that we can, I guess, frustrate the people and run them out.
Exactly. Easy for them to come in and say, look how filthy and nasty a place is. That's a city councilman's fault, by the way. Larry Reed, for years, has done nothing about that. Just sit back and let it happen. That's always the tactic they do, to run the community down and then come in and get it pennies on the dollar and then build it all back up again. Only the people who live there now won't be able to live there anymore.
And you heard it. You heard it right from the mouth of Bishop Bob Jackson. Bishop, it has been a real pleasure having you again on All About Community, and I can tell that you are excited about Oakland, and you will continue to be excited about Oakland, and you will continue to work to ensure that Oakland is the best city in the nation. Is that right?
That is correct. I've been here for 74 years. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to die right here in the city of Oakland. So I'm going to do everything I can to make it nice and comfortable for minority people in the city of Oakland. I'm going to do that.
And with that, we have run out of time on All About Community for this segment. But don't go away. We have another guest, a young man who is from Minuteman Press, Cedric Titus. Minuteman Press, a black man owning a press. You know, that's awesome, isn't it?
And he helped us with our program.
Indeed.
He's a Minuteman.
So we will be right back with our next segment, All About Community. Thank you for joining us.